It is crucial that we make sure that our followers believe that improving diversity on our campus is an important issue. In order to do this, we can start out by reiterating the sense of urgency that will initially be discussed. These facts and problems that we are facing affirm the idea that we need to try and fix this as soon as we can. Going off of this, many of the problems that we face today are because people have a lack of knowledge of other people's cultures, backgrounds, and ethnicities. This is an issue that is not impossible to address. We will go into detail later to explain how we would like to anchor our solution and address this specific issue. Finally, we need to stress that it is time to close this diversity gap. We attend such a big university, and college is such an opportune time to branch out and have an open mind.
Yes, I do. I think that a sense of inclusion is really important for everyone, especially on a large college campus, because a sense of isolation can create stress or just make people feel not at home, which would affect their schoolwork and stuff like that.
Yes, I think so. I think that if you come to college, you kind of got to get a real world experience, get a taste of the world, a bunch of different cultures and things. So I think having diversity on campus kind of gives you a way to experience the world culture.
I think diversity on college campuses are important because the country is really diverse and everyone should have an opportunity to go to college, and our college campuses should reflect the kind of country we have.
Not necessarily anti-diversity, but I feel like it's said a lot, like it's a diverse campus and this and that, but like we don't really see that. It's more just said, I don't know, like I feel like if you want to seek out diversity, the student will do it individually, but like as a university-wide practice, I don't think it's quite as prevalent as we say it is.
So Ohio State obviously prides itself as one of the nation's most diverse campuses, which we really do a great job overall, whether it's the number of international students that we have or all the diverse student organizations to represent everyone's heritage and race and ethnicity, as well as thoughts, opinions, and ideals. We also have different scholarships like the Moral Scholarship that are solely dedicated to promoting diversity on our campus. So in that aspect, I think Ohio State does a great job. However, I'm currently a member of the undergraduate student government, and through this position, I've really learned that there's a lot of students on campus that feel that they have concerns or don't feel like there is enough diversity. So as much as we have accomplished a lot, I still think we have a long way to go in making sure that everyone's diversity is included here.
Yeah, I feel included here. I'm not a minority, so I don't really know what other people feel, but I feel included.
The Ohio State University claims to value diversity, but according to its students, it's not being practiced as well as it should be. Instead, OSU students see anti-diversity propaganda or protesting that targets specific groups of people around campus. Differences in race, ethnicity, gender, and sexuality prove our varying student characteristics, backgrounds, cultures, identities, and experiences. Unfortunately, in November of 2016, an OSU student violently acted out on other students and faculty. This suspect was previously quoted in the article by The Lantern, Humans of Ohio State, in which he said, "I wanted to pray in the open, but I was scared with everything going on in the media. I'm a Muslim. It's not what the media portrays me to be. If people look at me, a Muslim praying, I don't know what they're going to think, what's going to happen." This event should serve as a wake-up call to Ohio State students, faculty, and administration regarding the flaws in the efforts to promote diversity and tolerance towards diversity. Although Ohio State portrays surface-level diversity, a part of transactional diversity, with differences in age, race, and gender of its students, OSU needs to practice transformational diversity, a deeper level diversity, which would include inclusion programs, diverse team cohesion, and more. It is important that Ohio State implements a way in which we can best achieve transformational diversity. Additionally, it is important that our university promotes ethical practices that takes its students' values and morals into account.
Universities benefit from a diverse population. According to American Progress, campuses that are more diverse not only foster more collaboration and innovation, but are also more positive, attain higher levels of academic achievement, and foster better intergroup relations. We want to create a more diverse campus here at OSU. In order to do so, we must have leaders that are broad-minded, forward-looking, and supportive. Broad-minded leaders will see beyond group differences in order to make inclusive campus environments. Leaders must also develop a vision for campuses that will affect change today, but also continue to do so in the future. Lastly, leaders must be supportive of all groups on campus. All students and staff should feel connected to the culture of OSU in order to be a part of a cohesive campus environment. To alleviate the cultural tension that we have been experiencing on campus, leaders must also settle differences between groups and work together to appreciate different views. Leaders will practice the principles of ethical leadership, especially by respecting and serving others and promoting a sense of community. This will help followers feel a sense of worth and will benefit followers' welfare when it comes to decision making. Building a community will also help followers understand each other's point of views and foster communication between groups to help understand different perspectives. These changes will be implemented by a University Diversity Coalition. We believe that the leaders of the multicultural organizations on campus should be included. We also think that the admissions office would be a very critical part of the plan as well. They are the key to having a more diverse university right from the ground up. Finally, Ohio State Executive Vice President and Provost would need to be included as well. He holds a lot of responsibility regarding women and minority representation on campus. It is also his responsibility to promote the sense of diversity among the faculty of the university as well. Getting all of these people involved is a crucial part to the success of this vision.
As we left off, the coalition will be part of the communication process. We will communicate with faculty, staff, students, and even clubs. We will understand the perspectives of all members of the coalition, which makes us more effective communicators and improves relationships. This is lateral communication. Communication is extremely important when you are trying to transfer a message. The most effective form of communication is face-to-face, which is how we would convey our vision. Our vision is to promote and advance diversity on campus, specifically to practice diversity in a way that reaches all students. The more diversity a campus has, the better, stronger, and more creative the people within the campus become, which creates a stronger campus overall. Organizations like PAMSO, the Public Affairs Multicultural Student Organization, has a shared vision in the changes we would like to see in the university. They promote diversity within the John Glenn College and offer an open space for students to talk about diversity-related issues and how to further promote diversity. If more people embrace diversity at a larger scale, the changes seen throughout the university would be significant. Our plan is to set goals because goals motivate followers. Having goals increases performance. The better the people perform, the more satisfaction they will get out of it, which will make them want to continue doing the work they are doing. We will motivate followers by stressing the importance of diversity and expose students to diversity in a way that makes it more interesting and makes them feel like it is something they need to learn more about. Students could attend classes at the Multicultural Center, attend multicultural student organization events, and go to panels focused on diversity. A coalition needs motivation, so they are prompted to participate. Both intrinsic and extrinsic factors are going to be needed in this case. A coalition needs motivation so that they are prompted to participate. Both intrinsic and extrinsic factors are going to be needed in this case. The self-determination theory can create a community that considers diversity normalcy, which requires a need for autonomy, relatedness, and competence. Competence to seek and control the outcome and experience mastery, relatedness for the universal want to interact, be connected to, and experience caring for others, and autonomy for the universal urge to be causal agents of one's own life and act in harmony with one's integrated self, which are necessary for diversity to be fulfilled. Through Dave McCullen's theory of needs, we learned that that people have a need for affiliation. The need for affiliation is the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationships. By learning more about diversity, you become a broader-minded individual, which not only helps you through college, but in the future as well.
In the short term, there are a number of actions that Ohio State can take to improve diversity and tolerance on campus. First, incoming classes of freshmen should look like the national population. The admissions department can focus on having proportions of multicultural students that mirror minority populations of the national population. Next, multicultural organizations such as PAMSO and the Multicultural Center should be championed, and students should be encouraged to attend events put on by these organizations. Resident life and/or classes can invite the Multicultural Center to put on activities and training sessions on diversity and inclusion. The Multicultural Center and students in multicultural organizations and these activities will intellectually challenge students by challenging their beliefs about diversity and its merits, while providing small group forums for individualized consideration, in which leaders and organizers can help students achieve actualization and overcome personal challenges they might have, in particular, challenges related to diversity and inclusion. Third, resident hall employees, specifically resident advisors and office assistants, play an integral role in interacting with students on behalf of the university. RAs and OAs have an incredibly important role in modeling behaviors of tolerance and inclusion. This idealized influence will display acceptable actions and behaviors regarding diversity and inclusion to their residents, creating living environments that are more open and tolerant. There are a few ways by which the university can assess this change. First, the university can make a deliberate effort to ensure that incoming classes of students have proportions of minorities that mirror proportions of those minorities in the national population. This will quickly build a more diverse community across campus. Second, the university should monitor attendance at multicultural activities and lectures, as well as membership in multicultural groups. By boosting attendance and membership in these groups, the university can expose more students to a diverse range of opinions and cultures that will help to create common understanding between students of different backgrounds.
To anchor the crisis on this campus, we would like to reference Canada as they promote diversity very well. There are strategies we can draw upon from the country. Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, often speaks about how diversity is Canada's strength. In a press conference he gave in 2015, he mentioned a few words that people use to describe Canada. Some of them include that they are open, accepting, progressive, and prosperous. Trudeau said how there was a direct line between each of those attributes and Canada's success in building a more diverse and inclusive society. He kept reiterating how diversity in Canada isn't a challenge to overcome or a difficulty to be tolerated. Rather, it is a tremendous source of strength. In order to get the entire coalition on board with some of the permanent solutions that encompasses all of this, we will create permanent learning communities devoted to promoting and fostering diversity. The community would begin freshman year. Groups would include 20 students and would be required to attend scheduled events. Faculty could even schedule events into the students' academic and social calendar. Monthly meetings within the community would also take place. The community would stick together for all 4 years of their undergrad so that a genuine community is built. A learning community would make all students of all backgrounds, races, and ethnicities feel like they have a group of people who are willing to try and understand where they are coming from and always have a close group of friends to lean on, which is important in such a large university. Sometimes people have a hard time trying to fit in no matter how many clubs there are out there, but with a learning community they will always have a sense of belonging through all 4 years of their undergrad. It would be something you have to be a part of rather it being a choice, because sometimes people make the choice of not being involved. Alternatively, we can also create a diversity panel. It would consist of students who are passionate, educated, and eager to implement a vision for a campus that is inclusive of diversity. The panel would address any issues revolving around diversity. For example, as mentioned before, if students needed a space to voice their opinions or concerns after the recent crisis which occurred on campus a week ago, they could speak to this panel. The panel would then speak on behalf of these students and other parts of the coalition. Again, The purpose of these two pathways is to advance diversity here at Ohio State. We want to be a university who not only promotes diversity and inclusion of every single student, but one that also puts it into practice.